It's like learning what to prioritize more. It's definitely learning each other's styles. Like there's some days where I could tell Erica's, tired. She's gonna give in 20%. I have to make sure I give that 80 and make sure it's balancing each other. And we went from friends to business partners, and that's a huge change. And we didn't even realize that.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Small Guy on Main Street. Today, I am in the studio with Academia Fe, which is Fatima and Erika.
Yes. Hello.
How are you?
Good.
We're good. We're excited.
Yeah, I know.
We're really excited.
Not nervous. That's good. No.
No, not
We're
not right
having
now.
a really
Yeah.
The caffeine kicked in.
I think so.
Yeah,
It's
the energy
kicking in.
is kicking in.
Officially has. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. How was your day today?
It was good. We came straight to work and we just started setting everything up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's all. Yeah.
As you could tell, this took some time, right? Because
Oh, yeah.
the preparation to get it as you want it.
Mhm.
It looks great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Um, so we're here, city of Lynwood, right? Academia Fe. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so Erica and I grew up here. We were also born here. Academia Fest started in July 2022. We were friends before that.
Way before.
Way before that.
Yeah.
Yes, so we met through Lynwood Middle School, and we've been friends since. We go to the same university, and I think that brought us together to do Academia Fair. So
Mhm.
yeah, but no, we have known each other, or our brothers knew each other before,
Mhm.
and we like telling the story because there's so many coincidences.
That was
And-
like it was meant to happen because of all the coincidences
Yeah.
that like brought us back together.
Yeah, because we have siblings. Our brothers are the same in age, and they played soccer together.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, Dad, I'm introduced you to Erica's parents. They're like, we knew this since we were babies. So
Mhm.
yeah, we've known each other for a very long time, and we didn't even know that. So yeah, it's always cool.
That's cool.
Hmm.
So here in Academia Fe, right? Something you both have thought about, created,
Yeah.
now are active here, right? What do you do, right? What do you teach? Styles and ages.
So our class, well, we name ourselves a Latin-based dance group, but we have like been pondering more into other dance styles, which I think we've done really good in like exploring various countries. Like I know we've done a lot of steps from Peru. I know we do samba from Brazil. I know we've been like dabbling into reggaeton right now, and we're slowly transitioning into hip hop. So we're wandering right now. But at first we did start as a Latin-based dance group that just focused on Latin-based dancing. But we're expanding further, and we're really excited to see where we go. I know our Tiny's class, so that's our first class. That is ages.
That is from 5 to 8 years old.
5 to 8 years old. So our Tiny's class, I know they're learning they learned the greasers recently, so they're doing that. And our second class is our junior team. Our junior team is
From ages 9 to 13.
9 to 13, and then our adult class, which is just 14, and we'll take anyone above the age of 14 who wants to dance. We'll take abuelas, tias, tios. We'll take everyone who wants to come join us. Our class is open arms to everyone. On that age.
And they're all back to back. So the tinies is from 5 to 6'10", and then back to back the second class 6'10" to 7'15", and then the adult class 7'15" to 8'30".
And we practice here at the Lynwood Henning Youth Center.
Yeah. Every Monday, Wednesday. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So that Academia Fe, right? It almost sounds like it had to be one way or another. It was gonna be. You didn't plan it years ago per se. It just kind of like, oh, we should make it happen. Like everything lines up, right? Can you share a little more, like, about you, as a person, and a little bit more your personal life?
We're both students, so I'm currently I just finished my third year in Cal State Fullerton. I'm a psychology major. Outside of dance, I love doing research. I love, I guess, being at home reading and being with my cat Pumpkin. But most of the time, my life is pretty much revolved around dance, one way or another. Being a dance director, I don't necessarily like to call it a job. I like to call it more as a hobby, but it's almost like it requires the 40 hours like a full-time job does. So it's really hard to say what I do outside of dance, but I will say it's a cycle of working and then dance and then studying, sleep, repeat. So
Yeah.
that's kind of our routine. Yeah.
I would say I have like a pretty similar schedule because I also do go to Cal State Fullerton. I'm studying liberal studies with an elementary education emphasis, which is a handful, but basically means I want to be an elementary school teacher. So I hope to get my credentials through Cal State Fullerton and eventually lead up to getting my master's. It's a long and hard, steady road, so I'm working on that. I also do have a part-time job. I work at Home Depot, which I love with all my heart because I love construction and just being, if I wasn't a teacher, I would have done something in the construction field. And I think that kind of fills that void for me, working, like just seeing Home Depot and like meeting all the contractors and just working there, I guess would fill that void for me. And then I get some teaching done here with my tinies because I love working with kids. So I love working with the tinies and getting experience here. So if I'm not at work, I'm here, or if I'm not here, I'm at school doing homework. Or more recently, I've been getting more into like exercise and stuff like that. So you'll catch me at the gym after here, actually. So after here, we're going straight over there. Is the plan, hopefully, if I'm not too tired. And yeah, or else you'll also find me at Disneyland half the time because I love me at Disneyland. I have the pass, and if you don't see me anywhere else, you'll find me at Disneyland. But that's a little bit about me.
So it's either here, the school, or Disneyland.
Yep.
That's about
If I ever go missing, just check in that order, and then you'll find me.
it. That's great. That's great. So I'm from Lynwood too, right? I graduated class of '06, and it's great. It's amazing to see more alumni, right? I mean, push yourself, right?
Yeah.
To further education, further entrepreneurship, hopefully, right, as well. And then, did you, in that sense, did you, or how did it come about? I know this may be something new. You both were dancers at one part, and that put you in the student, but now you're teachers, instructors. Did you have an idea of what you were expecting in that role?
Wow, that's a great question. Yeah, I mean the way it kind of came to be about. Well, we went to the same middle school, and we were actually in rival teams, and we would come and be like, "My team is better than yours," and we just formed a friendship that way.
Yeah.
And we still are big nerds, and we were in this competition called MESA, which is math, science, but we didn't care about any of that other than the talent show they had.
No.
And we used to come to each other's houses, and this is what, seventh grade, probably?
Yeah.
And we would just choreograph and choreograph and choreograph, and it just became a habit. Every time we were with each other, we would choreograph either quinceañeras or each other's talent show or anything for high school. So yeah, that's how we really connected. And eventually we went to different high schools, and we didn't talk for a minute until we were in Zoom. And it was our first year in college, and I see someone on my screen, and I'm like, I know that name. And I text her, and I'm like, are you in my dance class? And she was like, yep, that's me. And it was a huge coincidence because we could have chosen any of the thousands of classes Cal State Fullerton has, different professors, different times, different everything. And we ended up in the same exact class, and we were doing hip hop in our room, and
It was during quarantine still, and it was such a
Yeah.
crazy coincidence. 'Cause I remember that class having like over 150 students.
Oh, yeah.
So the way that teacher, because I didn't even know she went to Cal State Fullerton at that point either.
me either.
Because we had just like we had each other on like Instagram or something, but we had like lost contact for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then like randomly she texted me like, "Hey, do you go to Cal State Fullerton? Are you in Mr. Da-da-da's class? Are you on Zoom right now?" And I was like, "What?" And so like we found out like that, and I remember his class having like 150 students. So the way he like broke down his classes, he had 3 groups, and he split us into groups. And I remember me and Fatima were put in pairs.
Yeah.
And he had no way of knowing that we knew each other. We hadn't even like texted on Zoom or anything. Like we texted privately on our phone or something.
Yeah, it was like out of the 200 students, everyone gets a pair. Not only were we paired up, but the final project was like choreograph a dance.
Yeah.
And it's something we've been doing for years. Like we were like 18, and we've been doing it since we were like 11, 12. And
so we passed that class.
we aced the class. We aced the class, but it was just a huge coincidence because we went back to our roots. Like after like 7 years, we went back to choreographing again. It's like, wow, this is because after quarantine, we thought like we weren't going back to dance. There was no more dance teams. It was a different environment with dance.
Yeah.
And when we reconnected again, it was like it really felt meant to be. And we started carpooling together, and we went like it really felt like we were in middle school again. And I remember I was like, she was driving, and I was like, can I put this one song? I've been obsessed with it. And we're listening to it, and I'm like, I miss choreographing. Like I really miss choreographing. And she goes, why don't we just start a team? Like, why don't we just do it? And she says, my mom says that. And I'm like, my mom always says that. She says, and she's right. Like, we have everything we could ever ask for. It's experience, and we have the passion for it. And I remember telling her, I was like, you can't just say that, and we're not going to do anything about it. And then I
remember you being like, I'd rather do it, and if it fails, at least we tried it, than to have not tried it at all and like regret it for the rest of our lives. And that same day, we're like, okay, let's go to the rec center at Cal State Fullerton, and let's go into the dance studio and let's choreograph that song.
And we definitely did not skip all our classes to do that, but we've been saying that since we started. Every day when times get tough in dance, if it fails, it fails, but like at least we tried. Like I don't want to live at 90, what would have happened if I made this dance team? Like, so we never wanted to doubt it or what if this, what if that? And just like that, like we were like, if we're going to commit, we're going to commit 100%. And we choreographed our first dance, and we ended up performing that dance for Christmas parades, our very first Christmas parades. So it was kind of an impulsive decision, but it was also almost like fate at the same time. It was like the right place, right time, right mindset, right everything to do it. And
because as soon as we made that decision, like we just full throttle went into the dancing, and we just have never looked back.
Yeah.
Since that day.
Yeah. We had no idea how to do it, but we're like, we're gonna do it one way or another. We're gonna figure it out. And I mean, it wasn't easy. But definitely it was. Without Erika, without each other's support of like throughout the team, we definitely would have never been able to make it. So, yeah.
And now we're here.
Yes. So, you dream besides dancing, right? Because you could say you like the rush, the high of performing in front of people, but this is different, right? When you're an instructor, when you're a choreographer, you're no longer doing that. Right. So did you? I mean, are you still actively dancing?
It's a little difficult because obviously we tried the first year to dance in competitions and do all this. It was very difficult because we wake up at 3 a.m. We do everyone's makeup. We're running back and forth, and by the time we perform, it's like 9 p.m. and we're just like tired. And at that point, it doesn't even feel like we truly love it. But the thing is, we get more joy seeing the kids dance. And I always tell her my favorite part is like when the kid gets out of like backstage and like they run to their parents and they're like, oh my God, I actually did it.
Good job.
And
it's the most rewarding part.
Yeah, it's a much rewarding feeling than being on stage dancing. And so, and people are like, oh, we want you to dance. And I miss it too, but it's just a lot better being a dance director, truly. So, I mean, I miss it, but
Right. Okay. So there goes. There goes.
Yeah.
That's the feeling. That's the high. That's the moment that you seek is the. I mean, of course, performing without skipping a beat and getting trophies is a good thing. But
Yeah.
of course, is helping the tinies, the kids, if
Absolutely.
the people of the children get inspired. That's now the new motivation, right? So you always choreograph, would you say, in your room with music? Is that accurate?
We say it's funny
No.
because it's we would say we do most of our like choreographing like while driving. I would always
How do you do that?
Honestly, we do not recommend. We do not
for
recommend.
trained professionals only, please do not try what you're doing at home. But it's more like I guess since as dance teachers, most of our like Spotify listening or something is just always looking for the next song to dance, always looking for that. So we'll hear something on the radio in our head, like it'll just all be mentally like somehow.
We zone out. That's what it is. We
No.
zone. No, don't say
You're driving.
No, wait,
but
we're focused. No, it's not like that. It's just like we'll hear like a beat and we'll be driving, we'll hear a beat and we're like, oh, and then like we'll go
yeah,
back
we'll
to
keep it
driving.
at that. Yeah, we'll keep it
And
at that.
it's like that, and then that's where you get inspiration, and then you like kind of. I think it's a common experience.
get
Like
a-
my other dance teachers know. Like I feel like my other dance teachers will agree on like
We get a good
choreographic.
vision while we're driving. That's what it is. And then we choreograph in our room afterwards. Yeah.
Okay, so I see it. No, I see it, and I understand it because weird and oddly enough, great ideas do come when you're driving.
Yeah.
Somehow, I mean, maybe that's why people also get sleepy because it's like almost meditative because everything's the same, right? If you're stuck in traffic, it's gonna be the same,
Yeah.
right? So it's like nothing new changing, nothing dramatic's happening. And like you said, that song comes about and it just strikes something in the mind, right? And for me, like I get ideas, or even like let's say, a question will pop up for this, but just because my mind is already set on like, okay, how am I gonna navigate this? But for you, it's like when you dance or when you move, and oh, like this will be beautiful, or this will be. So I do see that.
Yeah.
I 100% see it. It's just like I'm just wondering if your leg is moving while you're driving and you're like
look,
kicking.
we're
your-
twitching.
Yeah.
No,
No,
it's
it's
all
all
pure
mental.
mentally.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I think that's something I like to do is once I get kind of a vision, I like to freestyle with the beat. And then from there, I'm like, okay, that step is better, that step is better. But definitely just all mental as we're driving. And then we put the vision in our rooms, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great information. Good insight, truly. Of how you get inspired, because inspiration comes from anywhere, really.
Yeah.
Right. And I guess because you're trained, I want to say professionals. When you hear some rhythm or something that has the right beats, you're already gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
Either kind of love it or not. Like I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
So now here you say you're more Latin based, right? Would you say was just let's see, salsa, merengue, cumbias, or what else?
I think that's
The rap
exactly what it
stuff?
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that your favorites per se?
Oh, that's a good
That's a
question.
great question.
I love festejo. It's from Peru.
Mm-hmm.
I I absolutely love the beats. I love the outfits. I love not only dancing it, but I love seeing people dance festejo. It's
Can-
absolutely beautiful.
Okay, I'm not familiar with it. Let's say, do you have some artists or songs that we could search up to get an idea how that sounds?
Sure. It's called Inga. Inga is our favorite one.
Inga,
Yeah, it's like
INGA.
ING. It's a very
INGA.
known.
Peruvian
Yeah,
song.
Peruvian
It's
song.
probably the most famous.
It's just really like it's more a lot of like drumming beats. It's really fast paced and it's really like jumpy and shaky and like that's the best
It's
way I
very
can
common for
describe it.
dancers to like dance with live music,
Live music doing festejo.
which is very interesting. And I have not tried it, but I love watching people do that. It's very beautiful. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you have a favorite?
I think my favorite is salsa.
Salsa.
I love a good salsa. I think it's just so I think it's such like a beautiful like art form, like just the movements of like the hands and the footwork. I think all of that working simultaneously is like just always thought it's so pretty, and I think that's why it calls to me. Just it's like a really like it's truly an art form, like to be able to do everything that what salsa requires, and I think that is my favorite.
It's all salsa the same, like certain regions.
Yeah, so there is difference. I know they have like salsa en una, salsa en dos, or I don't really have like a preference because I'm not specifically like trained in salsa more. I've been trained more in like merengue and cumbia, but I've always thought salsa was so pretty. So we started dabbling a little bit more in salsa this year as well, which is harder too because us as dance directors, like sometimes we're not trained in everything, but we'll learn it ourselves, and we're here to teach that back to our students. So I think this year we've really done a lot of training in salsa as well, and we've slowly been bringing that to our students.
Or sometimes, I have strengths that maybe she doesn't have in dance, or she has strengths that I don't have. And so sometimes we have to train each other.
Yeah.
Or sometimes we're doing a step and it's like,
We're just bouncing
without
off each
judgment,
other,
we're like,
yeah.
can you teach me how to do that? And so we learn like from each other, which is really cool. Yeah.
Well, okay. For the most part, is there I want to say lead choreographer?
Choreographer.
Sorry. Is there a lead? Like, let's say, Erica, are you the one mostly creating them and then getting feedback, or how do you guys design such?
I think it really depends. Because sometimes like we'll change in between classes. Sometimes it's like I'll choreograph for the tinies, you choreograph for the juniors and the adults. And then sometimes it's like we're working on like a Halloween performance. It's like, okay, me and you, let's come together and we're both dancing at the same time and we'll bounce ideas off each other. Or it really just it honestly depends. I think it's not really like I don't think there's a main one because we both just take turns. Like maybe you'll choreograph this one, I'll choreograph this one, and then we'll come together and it's like okay, let's do it together and see what we can change, see what we can add, and I think it's more.
Yeah, she's in charge of the tinies and I'm in charge of the adult class. So that we definitely choreograph separately. The junior, we take turns. One class you, the other. I'm mostly in charge of the solos. She's kind of in charge of mostly the duos.
Yeah.
But if I ever need help or something, or she needs help in a duo, like we just switch back and forth. But for Christmas parades, we always come together and choreograph together. We don't do that separately. We do that together. But it's always, here's the video. What do you think? Amazing. We're done. So, yeah.
Erica, you stated on the website that you play instruments.
Yeah. Well, when I had more free time, that was in the beginning of our journey. I had more free time and I was able to practice a little bit more. So I did like dabble in the accordion and the guitar, and I don't have as much free time as I'd like to practice it anymore. But I mean, I think the muscle memories are to learn like 2 or 3 songs. But yeah, I still have. I mean, now the piano's in the corner of my room collecting dust. I mean, the piano, the accordion. I have a piano too, but that one is. I didn't touch that one.
A lot of time.
Yeah, but I think it's all about just like getting like hobbies and stuff that interest you. And well, if I have the time, I'll like go touch it and make sure the muscle memory is still there. But I don't really.
Unfortunately, we don't have too much time.
Too much time to take into that.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that is something that you like to do, but your time is needed elsewhere.
Yeah.
That's where you kind of start.
Some sacrifices
Yeah.
are, yeah.
But I mean, I see you both kind of, or maybe Fatima stays up to like 12. You guys are really like taking advantage of the whole day and still not having enough.
No, it's crazy too because when I work at 4 a.m. and on the weekdays. So from 4 a.m. to 12:30, and after that I'll take like a little nap, and it's like okay, let's go straight to dance, and then after that it's like straight to the gym, and then okay, let's go home sleep, and then so our days are always busy. And I know your research program takes like a lot of time of your day in the mornings too, and we just have really long days.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a lot goes on.
A lot goes on.
Because, when we say we're students, it's not like we just go to class. Like we're trying to be the very best students, and that's not only homework for 6 classes, but it's doing
Studying and
studying
going
and doing
reviews
projects.
and
And if you don't have time, study. Like
you're gonna do an all-nighter and figure it out.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
We've never been ones to like be afraid of like staying up to like finish something. Like we'll take the time needed, and if it's a bad thing, but sometimes we'll sacrifice sleep to like get stuff done. I know, especially during like Christmas, the first thing we'll do is sacrifice sleep because we're the first ones up at 4 in the morning, getting our own makeup done and going over there, getting ready to set up. So
yeah, you should hear our parents. They're like, no, this is it's too late already. It's to the point where Erica would sleep over so much that her
my
dad
dad was like, just pay rent at Fatima's house.
yeah, it's getting a lot,
Yeah.
but yeah.
You very busy and
Very
and
busy.
you guys, I believe you ladies were happy the semester finished.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, we could breathe now.
Yeah.
Let's say, do you have anything planned for the summer? Any shows or anything you're gonna come out in for the summer? Yeah?
Well, during the summer is when we have our anniversary. So we're slowly working on hopefully a little surprise for our anniversary. And I know during summer, the city of Lynwood has events at the park, and we're usually there fundraising or we're usually there performing. And I think that's one of the big things we're doing during the summer. I think so. Is there anything
Yeah.
else we do?
No, we just love connecting with like other local community centers.
It's kind of like our off season before we really start like parade season, because I know that's why a lot of people join
Right.
for parade season, and that's when we like right after summer finishes we go hard in our parade training, and it's like, okay, 3-hour classes, let's practice practice going on the field and getting the endurance, and so it's kind of like our off season before the hecticness starts again.
Yep.
Oh, and then we do have a summer party. I forgot our summer.
We have a beach party
Party.
usually before school starts,
school
just so
starts.
everyone could be like,
The final
let's
hurrah.
catch a breather, yeah, before it goes crazy.
Yeah. So how many students are students, right? What do you have?
Right now, probably like 70.
I think so. It fluctuates, honestly.
Yeah.
But I think it's always around like it always fluctuates from like 60 to 80, or that's around the number we have.
Christmas parades was like around 80,
Yeah.
85 at one point. Yeah. So it depends how many students go on vacation.
Yeah.
It depends for a lot.
And then since we register on a month-to-month basis, it's also like some months are busier than others, some months are
like she said, when Christmas parades come around,
that's when the numbers go up, and
the numbers go up.
and you'll see this whole room filled like everywhere.
yeah.
Very busy and hectic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets really loud in here.
I know it was the rush. I know it was the high, and maybe the ecstasy. You may say that, like, you guys, are gonna create something that you love, right? And you're gonna teach it to many others. What sorts of doubts or what sorts of fears did you have? Do you recall any?
Oh yeah.
There's a lot.
Well, when we first started, we first of all didn't even know how to ask who, where do we do it? Do we have permission? How do we get permission? What files do you need? What forms do you need? And I remember one of the first things that we tried was renting out. I forgot what it's called.
Well, the community center.
The community center.
Okay.
And they were like, "Do you have your insurance?" And I was like, "Excuse me? Like, we don't even have car insurance. What do you mean insurance? Like, what are you talking about?" And now we do have car insurance and academic insurance. But it was everything was so new to us, and it was like we couldn't ask anyone, and that scared us. There's no instructions. There's no one to guide us.
There's no how-to guide, like how to start your own dance team. No, it was a lot of figuring out by yourself, a lot of trial and error, and a lot of like researching on our own and trying to figure out what to do. Because I know we did end up finding, because that day we did find the rent, we're like the place to rent, and we got the approval. We sent the paperwork. We're so happy. We're like, oh, we're starting next week, and they're like, okay, you're good to go. Just give me your insurance. And we're like, how do we get that? I know that same day. The thing about us too is we're like really fast problem solvers. Like if you tell us that same day when they told us, oh, you need insurance. Okay, what does that look like? How can I get it? We asked the lady who asked for our insurance. And that same day, we're like, okay, because the community center is right here. We walked over to like a random like coffee shop and we're calling around, hey, can you give us a quote on your insurance that same hour? And within that same like 2-3 hours, okay, we came back with our insurance. Like, here's our insurance. And so it was a lot of trial and error, a lot of figuring things out. But I'm proud that we're always coming up with like, we're really fast. Like we are really fast on like acting on what happens, and eventually we figure it out.
Okay. Um, Now, that's just getting to know, let's say, the system, right? What you need, what is required, right? Listener, world of, I'm gonna say Chris, world of underscore XHR1S. What he said is, what are some big challenges they faced when starting their business? As far as challenges, how far, what happened, what
Yeah.
that you can come.
I do remember a big challenge for us was that we were using, and still do, use a lot of our own personal money. And we're college students, and, we're working part-time. And it was very difficult because, our parents aren't giving us money. We're of age and we work and we're independent. But that was very difficult on us at first because, we had to pick up a lot of extra shifts to, pay for certain things. So that was very hard at first.
Yeah, the financial aspect was definitely like the biggest challenge because we only had so much in our savings, and it's like, let's pay rent, okay, let's pay insurance, okay, let's pay for equipment we need because we need speakers, we need cables, we need this, we need generators, we need this, we need that, and just little things that just kept adding up, and it was definitely a financial it was definitely a financial issue that we had, but luckily, and like everything ended up working out because a lot of our savings went into paying rent for the studio because when we first started, we didn't have enough students to really cover that.
Right.
But luckily, the city of Lynwood, recognized that we were starting a dance team, and they kind of liked what we were doing. So what they offered us was to become a city program. So by doing that, we wouldn't have to pay rent anymore. So that was so we're really thankful to the city of Lynwood for acknowledging us so quickly. Also, because I think it was like within like 2 months, they were like, "Hey, would you ever consider, instead of maybe renting the space, working with the city of Lynwood?" And so that was a big challenge. We're really grateful to the city of Lynwood for helping us out in that aspect of it, because that was a big like relief off our shoulders, because
Absolutely.
that was the hardest part, I think, for us.
Yeah, I agree. And one of our main things is we like to keep it affordable for the students. And something that we're reflecting on earlier was that when we were younger and we were in a dance team, sometimes our parents would not let us join just to be able to save up for rent or necessities. And skipping out on classes really it sucked because it was out of it was out of our control. And we didn't want our students to face that. So we wanted to make sure we were affordable and inclusive to every community that wants to come in here and dance. So we've always kept that in mind, like making sure that everyone has a fair chance at participating in the team. Yeah.
That's great. Um, do you have family that are in business or any of the sort? Any? No? So it's just like,
That's why when we say like
We're
we're
from
doing it on our
scratch.
own, we're building it from the bottom. We're doing it on
We
our
really
own.
did.
yeah, and there's of course there's plenty more to learn, right? There's
Yeah,
Oh,
plenty more
always,
to
yeah.
learn,
always,
but
yeah.
I mean, I could just imagine like you're dealing with college life,
Yeah.
right? Because that's a whole new thing itself, right? Because as you become adults, life in itself is changes,
Yeah.
and then right, trying to establish something and have ongoing revenue, right, to keep the lights on and equipment and everything else that's needed. So that's another challenge that you need to figure out. But that's something like maybe you have somebody in that sense.
No.
Unfortunately,
And we were
no.
always ones to be like, we're not gonna like ask our parents to help us out with like rent for the studio or something. We're like, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it ourselves, and we're gonna figure out how to do it on our own, which is I'm really proud of us for.
Yeah.
For always figuring out a way to get through things like that.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay, okay. Um, now let's say, Erica, right? You're studying, right? To what was it?
To be an elementary school teacher. I
Yes.
know it's a handful.
No, no, no. So yeah, I was trying to
Uh,
get the wording,
the
but
liberal
yeah.
studies with the with elementary education emphasis. I know it's a lot.
But do you any of you have younger siblings?
Yeah,
You both
So
do?
they're the same age, I think.
yeah.
Our sibling,
Oh, really?
younger
I'm
You
sister.
one of
said
four, and then you're one of
Three.
three.
one of three. Oh, because you said you had said earlier soccer. One of
Our
you.
older
Our older
brothers
brothers are
Older
are
soccer.
brothers.
soccer.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Because I was thinking like, um, great, better experience for you, right? I mean, you're studying psychology. Depending on your field, they could serve you as well.
Hmm.
Um, but have you learned anything, you may say, by being an instructor, a teacher, or a mentor
Hmm.
um, to them that you maybe didn't know
Hmm.
by, dealing with children? What have you learned?
I think it's really interesting because it's actually funny that you mentioned it. Since I do, like you mentioned before, I'm in charge more of the tinies class. So I've always loved working with children, and a lot of my courses that I've been taking are child development. And I love like reading on like the child development. It'll explain like how the brain works, and then kids will come like I have like the most curious kids who will come and ask me like every question they can think of, and I love just like listening to their questions and be like, oh, like, and it'll like relate back to my homework, and I'm like, oh, like it's your cerebral, and then, like like just mixing it like that, and you also like kind of learn how to deal with like their students like emotions because, um, their students and sometimes they'll be like, oh, miss, like I'm tired, and you kind of like learn how to like deal with them or not deal with them, but you kind of learn how to like work with every student because we also have students with special needs
Yeah.
in this class, and we kind of learn how to work with every student. And it's just something I find a lot that whatever I'm like studying in my homework, like I'll see it in my class, and I think it just helps me prepare for whenever I have my own classroom in the future because I'm like I know how to control my class because I know how to work with my students here. So I think it's like a really good. It works hand in hand,
Hmm.
I guess. Like since I've always wanted to be a teacher, I get like a good um,
First-hand
first-hand
experience.
experience of how it's gonna look like running my own classroom, running my own dance team. I
Hmm.
feel like it goes really hand in hand.
Okay. Fatima, anything in psychology that you may have picked up
Yeah.
that correlates?
Well, I do a lot of research.
Hmm.
I'm in a research program that helps me to a doctorate. Um, and one of the things I research is mental health disorders within the Latino community.
Hmm.
And I see that a lot in our students.
Mm.
Yeah. And I feel like one of the things in my research I talk about is, we're not, um, we need to be vocal about it. We need to advocate for mental health. And seeing, our kids, not all of them, but there's a few that, are suffering. And I think being a dance director, you're everything. You're a mentor, you're an advisor, you're a parent, you're a sibling, you're really everything to the kid. And sometimes you're all that they have, right? And I think it's a huge responsibility. And a lot of my psychology classes really deal with the sensitivity. Um, so it really has helped me learn how to connect with the kids and the adult class. And my adult class has college students as well. And sometimes they're like, Miss, like, I need a self care day. And I tell them that all the time, like, you take it. Like, if you don't feel like coming and you need to study, you need a rest day, or you just want to sit down and watch a movie, like, go for it. Like, I think your mental health is very important, as well as your physical health. And I've always been advocate about that. And sometimes I see the kids stressed. Oh my God, we need to get first place. We need to get this. And
Yeah.
we have, for us, that is not important. Like, you'll see all this, and we're extremely proud of all their trophies, but we always remind them, trophies are nothing to us. Like, we want you to be proud of everything you achieve, and that's all we learn in psychology. Really, it's how all these mental health disorders come to be about. So yeah, it's very interesting to see that in real life.
I think both of our like majors help us be more like um, help to be more like empathetic towards our like
Hmm.
our students because we understand where they're coming from, and
Yeah,
it helps us like
and it also helps that we're young,
Hmm.
because
yeah.
it wasn't that long ago that I was their age.
Right.
So I understand fully. Like sometimes I'm like, I understand completely what you're talking about, or I've been through that. I understand, and I think that's something special that we have with the kids. It's we really have the capability not only to help but understand and listen to them. So yeah, yeah.
No, that's great. And but one of the best ways is obviously education on knowing that, because you may say to the general public, right? They don't know all the signs that somebody might
Absolutely.
be having disorder, mental disorder, or
Absolutely.
anything of that sort. Um, so if you could share something, right, of somebody, what can you say that is something common that maybe we could pick up on, right, to be able to maybe address it?
I have seen um, over the years, you could see kind of a personality shift. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very important that you don't see your team as a team, you see it as individual people.
Mm-hmm.
And we play, we notice really, we pay attention to our kids. And sometimes we notice, little mood shifts. We notice a little bit of maybe anxiety, stress, we could just tell with the vibe. And after years of knowing them, I think it becomes very obvious to our eyes. But at the same time, I understand how some people may not be able to pick on that. But yeah, I think it's just being able to pay attention to how they come to class, how I don't I think
How they interact with
how they
other
interact with other
students.
students, how they interact with the teachers,
Mm-hmm.
how what they're doing in their breaks. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
they're fidgeting. Sometimes they're too nervous. They don't like to talk.
Or they're like, yeah.
You pick up on these things slowly, but yeah, it becomes very obvious soon. Yeah.
Great. No, I think it's always good, and I think it's- I know there's enough, or maybe we need more research for Latinos, because I think we're just starting to embrace, you know, us being here in the U.S., right? Because some of us are first generation, you know. So I think a better understanding on that point of what Latinos struggle with, right, it may be very important, right, and for us to become more active citizens in that sense. But it is difficult,
Yeah.
and like I said, becoming more aware of it is always good.
Yes.
And by all means, there's several websites and books, right, that we could get more information to address it. Um,
And if I wanted to add on that too, because I know in our adult class we have a lot of students that go into like big universities, and I know that a lot of them come to us and tell us like they feel imposter syndrome over there, and it's like they don't really get to like have their culture in that space. So when they come to dance every Monday, Wednesday, it's like I'm back. I feel back at home because I'm surrounded with people from my same culture, and I think that's also a really good thing that we have in our space because it's like okay, because we do have a lot of students that because we have a lot of students that go like USC, for example, or UCLA and things like that, and they come and they tell us like you don't really see like Hispanic culture being represented over there, and you come here and they're doing a salsa and they just feel so much better because they feel a little bit more at home here at dance studio too.
And especially with the kids, now that technology is a huge thing, that's something we always keep aware. It's like they could, we understand how maybe social media can affect them. So I think that's what also being young and really helps us connect with our kids and see something that maybe older people.
Yeah, because we've had students, even parents, reach out to us and tell us, and like let us know in advance or let us know privately. Like my daughter struggles with like self issues, like what is it? How do you say it? Like self confidence issues. Like yeah, so like they struggle with like ¿cómo se dice?
confidence?
Confidence.
Confidence, yeah.
Yeah, so we've had parents tell us that
Yeah.
they struggle a little bit with that, and we've been really like thankful enough that we've also gotten messages from that same parent being like, thank you because my daughter after like being in your dance feels so much more, she's more outgoing, she's more expressive, and we love getting those messages because it's like we love seeing that what we can do for our dancers as well, because it's like if we can bring out her confidence through dance and through the other students as well, like that makes us feel better as teachers as well, because that's something that if we're not just teaching dance, we're teaching confidence and we're boosting like people skills, because I know I always put my students in like pairs and let's stretch together, and it's like socializing with other people, and then it's like being in that environment really like pushes you to
Absolutely. Or
be
something,
better.
yeah, we see our students absolutely tired because they come from school, they do homework there. You know, we understand that they're tired and we're like, let's take a chill day.
have
Let's take a break. Let's all breathe. Let's all talk to each other. Let's do activities. And that's something that I feel like not a lot of dance teams do. And we try to be like as, I guess, observant as possible. And that I think that's something that we're grateful to
Because I know
have.
we'll have like team bonding days, or even like TikTok days where it's like, or even technique days where it's just like, let's not worry so much about getting the dance perfect. Let's worry about making sure we're in like the right headspace to even
Yeah.
be at practice and perform for an event.
Yeah, and when we teach a new dance, I tell them, make all the mistakes you could do. Make all of them. Like, it does not matter. Or sometimes I start looking at them and they get nervous. And I'm like, make all the mistakes. Like, this is your time to make all the mistakes. Like, this, and I tell them, I wouldn't get at the first try either. And so all that reassuring, I hope it really makes a difference in their lives, because I know when I was a student, I would have that anxiety, and I fully understand the students' like perspective and mindset. So yeah, that's something that I feel like we're always gonna keep in mind as we're continuing being dance teachers. So yeah.
No, those are all great things. And if they're better, I want to say, in a good standing mentally, then you could expect them to perform better, right? Instead of being troubled for whatever reason.
Absolutely.
So being able to address all that, I know nowadays is getting talked about more, right? But I think we're still trying to figure out how we could do it to certain industries, and what works here may not work there, and all that, right? But I know it's still a complicated thing to handle, because it's dealing with people.
It's a very sensitive thing. Very sensitive. Yeah.
But good thing
Yeah.
you're trained, I want to say, for this.
Yeah.
Very good on that. Listener Linda Wera, what is your favorite age group to teach? I mean, I know you have separate ones, so, but
Yeah.
is it your favorite?
You can go.
I love my tinies. I think they are the cutest thing ever. Yeah, they're definitely my favorite to teach, just because even if we're doing like a certain step or something, I know I try teaching them like a salsa, and sometimes the steps aren't there, but they just like so cute performing it. I'm like, you know what? That's the way you do it now. That's the way it's done now. And I know every time they perform, the parents are always like, oh my gosh, look at that step, and look at my daughter do that, and oh my gosh, she's so cute. And I think they're the cutest, and I think they're my favorite.
Yeah. It's a tie now. Mine has to be a tie. It has to be the junior team, and it has to be the adult class. It really is a tie. I love the junior team. They make me laugh. The kids are just like the best, and I always envisioned having a big family, and I imagine they're all my little sisters and brothers, and they have like so much tea. They tell me all the TikTok trends. They're never boring. They keep me active. They're the sweetest. They're always, we have a new student, and they're like, Miss, do you want us to go make her feel welcome? We're like, yep. And it's like they're just smart, and they pick up dances so quickly, and I get so shocked every time I see them. That I truly love them. And I first started off teaching mostly the adult class, and I do have a special love for them. A lot of them were my previous friends before I started Academia Fe, so I knew most of them. And yeah, I just have a special bond with everyone. I can't say, but it is a tie. Yeah, they make my day. They really do. Yeah.
I see how all that plays a part. I know
Yeah.
that was putting you
That
guys in
was
the
a
corner.
hard question.
You know, be like, oh, they better not listen to that. But I
Yeah.
know it was just like every group
Yeah.
has their imperfections and their perfections,
Absolutely.
and you gotta take
Absolutely.
either one, right?
Yeah.
Or both, so to speak.
Mhm.
Um, but it was just like, maybe you know, a certain one might be,
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
more
She's
favorable.
she's definitely the babies and the teenagers and pre-teenagers. That I think that's our favorites. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
And each one, the characteristics, because I'm thinking they're adorable at tinies, right?
Mhm.
They're like just so cute how they, do it, and
Yeah.
maybe they seem to do it right, but a little misstep.
Yeah.
But then you got the teens, right? They're high energy,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
but could also be, I'm gonna say, what's the word?
They're a little too energetic.
Maybe, yeah,
Mhm.
right.
Yeah.
Unsteady, and want to do
Mhm.
it more, a little more
Yeah.
this and that. And
Uh-huh.
then the adults may take it a little more serious, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And
yeah,
maybe more
yeah.
passionate.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
for that same reason, because they take it serious, it might take away fun,
Exactly.
Yeah.
You summed that up perfectly.
Mhm.
That's exactly
So
how it
Have
is.
you been in a dance class before?
no, I just I
Uh-huh.
could see and understand
Yeah.
Yeah.
how it may be, but
Yeah.
like I said, you gotta take the good and the
Yeah.
bad each one has.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Um, listener, shed for I'm gonna say NY, shed for NY. Say, I think you covered it, but if you could summarize it, how did they get the idea to start a dance group? I think you kind of you gave us the whole story, so it's
Mhm.
probably there. But if you had
Yeah.
to say it like summary, the idea to start dance group, it was how it was both of you, class, meeting up, let's do something.
Yep. It was
You really want to do it? Yeah.
reconnecting, dancing again, carpooling to school, hearing a song, and then just impulsive decisions from there. Just okay, let's do it right now. Okay, okay, we're done.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's pretty much it.
I think like our major inspiration too was the fact that we weren't dance. Like there wasn't a space that we could dance in during that time because it was like freshly out of quarantine too, and there wasn't any like dance teams accepting our age group
Mhm.
actually.
Mhm.
So we're like, no one's accepting us. Let's make our own, and then
Oh, absolutely.
that's a big reason of why we came to be what we came to be because we
Yeah.
wanted to dance.
Hmm.
And at that point, we looked around and no one was taking like 18 and up, and we're like, okay, we'll take 18 and up. And I
Mhm.
remember when we were starting our dance team too, and we were like filling out forms, they warned us like, hey, the 18 and up or like the adult 14 and up, like there's not a big like audience for it. Like
Mhm.
there's not a people who want that class. But we're like, we're we want that class. We're that age group. We want to be there. We know there has to be at least a couple more dancers that are also in that age group that want to continue dancing. And
Yeah, they were like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "It's one of the main reasons we're doing it. It's because not having that age group makes it not inclusive for everyone." And we felt that way. We were trying to join teams, and we're like, "Why is there no one out here accepting us? Are we too old?" And that's what we thought. Like our dance, it was over. Like we really thought that was it. And they were like, "Wait, we can just make our own. Like why we can't let anything stop us."
Right.
So we really still had that. I think that hunger for more dance, and that's why we did it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I see that. A quick shout out. It was by Pearl 84th. I don't have a question. I just want to make a statement, and the statement was they are amazing teachers, and they have earned the the girls and the parents' heart.
Oh wow,
that was so sweet.
we start crying.
Yes,
Yeah,
I was like, no, it's a question. No, no, no. She said a statement, so just
yeah.
want to let you know she said that.
No, we love our parents. A lot of our parents are very supportive of because we are so young and a lot of the parents are older than us and
Mm-hmm.
we are really thankful that a lot of them are understanding and they respect like the boundary of like the student and the teacher and the fact that we even though we're younger we're still their teachers and we have a lot of support and we have a lot of love for our parents that are always also down to help us out with anything that we need.
Yeah, you don't have to ask them. They'll see something, they offer something, and they've got our back.
So we love our dance parents.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
um, okay, so this July anniversary,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
2 year, is it?
Yes.
2 year
Yes.
anniversary, right? So just starting to get the rhythm.
Yeah.
Everything's going good. What if there's anything, right, that you may have learned from this experience, right, about people, about life? Is there something that you have learned that you didn't know before? Or maybe it was a misconception, or maybe it was something new. Anything?
Oh man, I think oh wow,
That's a
that's
great
a great
question.
question.
No,
I think
think about it if you need
a
to.
lot of things that we did learn about, like I said, we've learned a lot about problem solving really quickly with dancing. You never know what can happen if it's the music going wrong, if it's the dancers being on the wrong side of the stage. It's problem solving like that. And there's a lot of like learning of how to trust one another, trust that you're going to get here on time, trust your team's going to do what they have to do and be at the performance, and a lot of time management for me and Fatima,
Yeah.
having our busy schedules that we have. It's working a lot on time management. We've definitely learned a lot through these last 2 years, but anything that's happened, like we've definitely learned from, and we've grown so much from. And I'm really proud to be at the state that we're at, and we can only like grow bigger and better from here. I would say
It's like learning what to prioritize more. It's definitely learning each other's styles. Like there's some days where I could tell Erica's, tired. She's gonna give in 20%. I have to make sure I give that 80 and make sure it's balancing each other. And we went from friends to business partners, and that's a huge change. And we didn't even realize that. And there are some times where we're like, how do I nicely say, can you please do your work, or like something
Yeah.
like that? So it was very learning how to talk to each other, how to communicate, how to plan, how to, if we have to get each other in trouble, how do you do that respectfully without hurting, each other's feelings about being friends? Like we really had to learn how to communicate that way, and we've gotten a lot better at it. And we, the first year, we only hung out because of dance. And we hit a point where like, wait, when have we ever? We haven't been to the movie theaters. We haven't.
we're like we're not friends anymore. Like we're like
No,
we're not.
genuinely.
We hit a point where we're like we're not doing
Absolutely.
anything that's not dance related.
Yeah. So, we had to practice that. Where we're like,
Now we set days like this
Yeah.
is a team meeting day. This is me and you hanging out day. This is
Yeah.
we need to get this done this day. After we get that done, okay, let's go hang out. Let's
Exactly.
go do something.
If we're gonna have a big meeting, let's go to the theater afterwards. Instead of doing this, let's go to the gym together. Let's put this aside, and maybe we need to just relax and just watch a movie
And focus on ourselves for a little.
and focus. And that's what we've been practicing to do a lot. Yeah. So.
Great.
Yeah.
Really good. No, that's part of life, right?
Yeah.
Part of the
Exactly.
adventure, the journey, and the experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, first and foremost, is there something you like to add that maybe I didn't cover about you, your journey, your business?
I don't know.
Wait, let us think. Talked about. I think we covered
I think we
everything.
did.
We did. We did a good job at covering everything.
Yeah.
I have one thing. We offer free classes every first Monday or Wednesday of the month. So come try it out. If you don't like the dance, that's totally okay, because we just want you to find your passion and what you love to do, which is why we offer free class. But we hope you love it. We love accepting new students. We love meeting new people. So yeah, come free. Shoot us a DM, academia_. Just shouting ourselves out.
No, yeah, by all means, that's fine.
Yeah, so yeah, we love meeting new people. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, do you have somebody you may admire, that in the sense of a business? Because now that you got it, your feet wet, so to speak,
Yeah.
kind of may see it differently than before, right? So is there somebody that you admire? Maybe could be influencer, could be a neighbor, could be anybody. Is there anybody?
Well, the thing is, well, like we said before, like when we started the team, like we started like ourselves figuring things out, and I've like told people this before, but Miss Fatima over here really inspires me. Just because she does take a big lead, like in the dance team. She does take a lot of charge, and I know she has her. I'll start crying. You know, she has like her doctorate program, and I know she's really busy, and she's the first one to be like, we need to get this done. And I've always been like, I love that about Fatima because she's the first one to be like, we need to do this. This is the order, and she tells me like, I need to set schedule, and I've always admired that about her. And just because we've came from separate dance teams, but don't really like get help from them, if that makes sense, just because they don't exist anymore.
Right.
Or those dance teams don't exist anymore. So we can't really reach out to them for help. So we've like been looking at each other for help. So Fatima really inspires me to be a better teacher.
Oh, wow. Starts crying.
Yeah.
I like to say Erika too. I think I always say this to people. I feel like I couldn't have done it with anyone else because we have the same likes for some reason. Like we look at something, we're like, that's the one. No questions, nothing asked. Like we have this. I think it's because we grew up the same.
Yeah.
We're the same families. We like the same things. It's crazy. So it's never been an issue. It's never been like, oh my God, I wish it wasn't Erika. I wish it was. No, it was. Everything has always worked out when we're together. But I like to give a shout out to our parents because they put in that labor and they see us struggle, and each time we have an issue or a problem, like they're the first ones who take care of things, and we ask them for advice all the time, and they always lead us to the right places. And without them, there's no way we could have done it without them. So truly, I love you, Mom and Dad. Love you, Mommy, Puppy. Yeah.
What is one thing you may have benefited from social media?
Oh wow.
We love social media, actually.
Yeah.
We love using it to our advantage. I think we've gotten a lot of like new students from social media as well. I know when we first started the team out, actually, this is something we didn't mention before. When we first started the team out, should I wait?
Pause.
So when we first started the team, actually, Michelle, can you pass me one of the little things in the little flyer there?
Oh my God.
When we first started the team and we didn't know how to promote the dance team, what we did is we walked around the city of Lynwood handing out flyers to little parks. And we have a flyer here that we found in our archive.
Yeah, this is the first one we have, our very old logo. But literally day and night, join our team. Like it was very old fashioned.
Very dangerous. Actually, do not recommend.
Oh, it was very dangerous.
Because we were walking
at
all
night,
day, all night,
at the streets,
passing, talking to people. Hey, it was also, we would go to the park. Hey, would your son, daughter want to try our dance team? First class is free. And I remember we did a lot of that, and then we also did posting on social media that our classes and promoting it on social media. And I remember we decided to that first day of classes, that first class we had, we put like on a sign-in sheet, like so we can figure out who our students were. We put, "Where'd you hear from us?" Not one person put flyer.
Okay, a few people put flyer.
Like two,
a few people,
but it was like 2 out of like 30 students put flyer. And it was like the 10 miles we walked a day handing out those flyers for what? When everyone else came from an Instagram post.
Wow.
So we've been trying to be really active on Instagram because that's where a majority of our dancers come from. And we'll ask them, oh, like, how'd you hear about us? Oh, like, we saw your Instagram. We saw your reel on our page. And you'll see us, like, post reels all the time. You'll see us have a social media person with us all the time. And we love recording videos. We have days just for TikTok. We call them TikTok days because it's, like, a nice reset for our students. It's a nice way to promote our business. And I think it's just been a really, really helpful outlet for us.
And the kids love it. Like, they're like, we should recreate this. We should do this. We should do that. And I think ever since we started doing TikTok with our students, they just become more livelier. I don't know what it is, but it just makes everything so much more fun. And they like go home and I just see their comments and I'm like, who's this?
They're like, I'm in that dance team. That's me. And
it's the cutest thing. And they truly, truly have fun. And sometimes even the shyest kids, you see them for the first time,
they'll pop off we're like, act like you're tired. And they go, like the full most
Oh,
energy you'll ever see them, and I'm
full
like, I love it.
actors.
I love it.
And this is for everyone, even the adult class. Like they act very serious and shy, but the moment the camera is on, they love it. And not only does it help our students, but it promotes our team.
Yeah.
And it's just something it's just something fun
It's something
to
we
do.
take a lot of advantage of. We've learned
Yeah.
to take advantage of the social media presence and the power it holds, and we've tried to be really active on there. And if you see our social media, like you'll see a lot of posts, and
Yeah.
we put in the work on there.
And it's not something that we're like, oh my God, we have to do a TikTok. It's like, if we could give our phone to the kids, they got it.
They'll come to us, be like, Miss, I learned this dance. Let's do it. Okay.
Oh yeah, we were scrolling through TikTok one day, and I put accidentally like a dance sound, and they all knew it. And I'm like, what are y'all doing outside of class? So I mean, it benefits everyone, absolutely everyone. It's the coolest thing. Yeah.
And that's where we hear opportunities, like even yourself, like for the small guy on Main Street. That's where we saw you from on Instagram as well. So it's like learning to connect with people on there and helping each other grow from that.
Absolutely. And other dance teams. Because we go in person, right? We're like, hi, it's nice to meet you. We're a new dance team. We're just trying to reach out. And they're like, oh my God, that's nice. Can we speak to your dance directors? And we're like, we're the dance directors. And so it's really funny because it's just a way to get to know people, and everyone messages us through there. And yeah, we reach out to a lot of people through
And we
there.
find a lot of opportunities to perform on social media as well. Funny enough, like you'll see dance competitions on there, and like we'll get ads for it.
We'll get tagged.
We'll get tagged, and we'll send it to each other like, hey, let's register here. Like this looks like fun. And social media has been a big part of academia.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. Embrace it fully, right?
Yeah. I completely agree.
Okay. Any now, I'm not gonna say textbooks, right? But any books, articles, or even quotes that you recently came across that you like to share?
Quotes. I feel like something I quote a lot. It's not really that much inspiring, but it's like just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming.
Here goes the Disneyland again.
I told you I'm a big Disney.
Disney fan.
But big Disney fan over here, and it's like you'll catch me saying that to my students. Like you gotta just keep swimming. Like I think you just have to keep going. Like no matter what, just keep doing what you're doing, and eventually it's gonna work out. It's the biggest advice I can give.
Do you know Meet the Robinsons? I think it's a
Fake.
Disney.
You're fake if you don't know. Isn't that Disney?
No, I do know, but
You don't recall?
I haven't really watched a lot of it.
I remember watching that when my oldest, but she was young, it came out, right? And that one says, keep moving forward.
Oh.
Yeah.
It says, keep moving forward. That's the inspiration of, the future kid. He tells them, just keep moving forward, right? And which is the same, keep swimming,
Just keep swimming.
right? For them, but that's what I, go back to sometimes.
Yeah.
Keep moving forward, Fatima?
I personally like the quote that says, one day or day one. And that's something that I resonate with a lot. It's something that sometimes we face with. It's like, oh, one day we'll do that competition. It's like, no, like, what can we do right now to
Start prepping
to get to there? And I learned there's always something you can do for Academia Fair. There's not one day where you're like, I have nothing to do. You could continue promoting. You could reach out to other people. You can choreograph something new. And that's a quote that's kept me motivated, not only for dance, but just literally in life in general. So whether that's exercise, school, diet, everything. So, yeah.
That's good. What is it again?
One day or day one.
Day or day one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very powerful quote.
Yeah. What defines wealth, or what will be your definition of wealth?
I think it's being surrounded by people who support you. I think that's the first thing that came to mind. It's being supported, being loved, being encouraged to do whatever your heart tells you to. I think that's the way I see it.
I agree as well.
And we have a lot of it with our students. We have a lot of wealth, and we're truly grateful to have everyone who's a part of Academia Fair. But it's you come to dance, and even if you had a long day at work, like oh my God, I have to go. It's like something that you're always looking forward to, even if you had no sleep, like, because you're just surrounded by just absolutely just love and happiness and encouragement and all that good stuff. So
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, she agrees.
Okay. Okay. Last one.
Mhm.
If if you had an hour, right? Who from this world or the other would you spend it with? Is there a certain person? And I'm thinking, think of any time in existence or this world or the afterlife or anything.
Oh man,
Is there anybody? If you had an hour.
no.
And I have my Nino who passed away, my godfather who passed away. If I had an hour to be with him, he's the most energetic, fun-driven person. I remember when I was 15 and I was first learning to drive, and my dad didn't want to teach me because he knows I'm a little reckless. My Nino was like, he's from Sinaloa. He was like, mija, tú vete, tú agarra el carro y tú vete. And like he era de ambiente. He was such a fun, loving person. And I feel like sometimes I miss his energy in my life. I miss that, like, you do what you're gonna do, and I'm here to support you.
Yeah.
And your godparents are always like that. They're always like a backbone, and definitely miss him a lot. So if I had an hour to be with anyone, I definitely need my Nino to have, my support.
Yeah.
To have his support and just have his like loving energy around me. Just, mira, tú dale, tú puedes, and just missing that Sinaloa accent. I miss my Nino, but I'd have my Nino.
Mm-hmm. I would say something similar. I would say with my grandparents, I never had the chance to meet them, and we don't have much family here. So it's just really me and with 5 of us. I don't really have much cousins or tios or anything out here. They're all in Mexico, and I never got to meet my grandparents. So I would love to have spent at least an hour. But if we're talking about dance, I would have loved to meet Selena Quintanilla because we dance a lot to her songs, and I love her and her music and her steps, and she's just an artist, and so yeah, that's what I would say.
Imagine if she was still alive.
Oh, wow,
Right? Where would we be?
absolutely. Mhm. Wow. Then we ended up like all emotional.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But to close the show out, right? But thank you both. Thank you for both for willing to accept. And I know it wasn't easy, but it wasn't hard, right?
No,
Yeah.
we loved doing it. We were so excited.
Yeah, we were really nervous, and like Eric and I are the people who are like, we're gonna write like and make our
Everything.
schedule, but it's like we can't write what you're gonna say in this show.
Yeah.
It's like you just have to be free, and it's something very new to us. And we
Right.
tried practicing. We're like, no, we're gonna sound scripted. We just have to go
can't.
in there and like be free and say everything from our heart, and we truly have, and we appreciate it because I feel like we never tell the parents and the kids how much we appreciate and love them. And I feel like this was a great way
For them to hear it.
for them to hear it. Like, not just for the cameras, but truly just to like recognize that ourselves. So, yeah, thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, we're really grateful for the opportunity. And we did bring a present for you. So
Oh, yeah.
if you guys want to meet Michelle, Michelle is our current TA. Michelle, you want to say hi
You
to
want
the
to say hi to the
quickly?
camera?
So me and Miss Fatima, we're big like DIYers. We're very much we like you've heard in the interview, like we're very do it yourselves. This whole setup, me and Fatima. The chairs you see in the back,
The chairs.
anything you see, it's me and
shirts.
Fatima. The shirts,
What else?
me
Oh, the
and-
hats.
all the merch you see, it's me and Fatima, and we wanted to make you a little something.
Thank you.
So it's to commemorate
yeah.
our collab, and I hope you enjoyed it.
We put our heart and sweat
into
into it for sure.
Yeah.
It's just something to remember this great day.
This moment.
Yes, of course. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. We definitely didn't do it at 2 a.m. in the morning.
No, of course not.
But it has both our logos and our signature stars that you'll see on all our
All our
merch.
merch. You can order at no, just kidding.
Yeah, right.
But,
I have them ready.
yeah.
I have special, right? Collab edition.
Yeah.
We
Thank you.
we needed something to show you that we're really appreciative of the opportunity that you are even reaching out and being able to set up with us
And what you do for other people too.
as well. Yeah.
I mean, I think everyone deserves the recognition, but especially small businesses, because
Especially in Lynwood, since you're
oh my God, absolutely, our hometown,
trying, I'm
yes. So
Little by
thank
little.
you for all that you do. Yeah.
Thank you.
We hope we could do this again next
next
year so
year.
we could see our growth every year or something. So
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see how things go, right?
yeah.
Again, thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you for your
you.
story.
Of course.
Thank you for
Thank
the
you.
insights. And all right, see you guys next one.
Bye, guys.
Bye everyone.
No, it's only the beginning.
You're like, now I'm supposed to do that.